first time in history, we actually have access to all of the world's cultures, all of their forms of transformation. We have stuff going all the way back to shamanic techniques, all the way through the great axial wisdom traditions. We have various yogas, east and west. We have some of the most profound contemplative traditions of all of humanity. They're all available to us. Certainly, at least in terms of study, but also increasingly, just in this country, we have transmitted, realized teachers in virtually all of the great contemplative and meditative traditions. This has never, ever, ever happened in history. So on the one hand, we can put all of these things on the table and look at them and say, what can we learn from them? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? And there's important truths in all of them. And what we want to be able to do is sort of look at this without diluting any of them, without trying to get any of them to change, but simply putting them all together in a way that they are mutually reinforcing, mutually beneficial. And we can start to discern the key ingredients of transformation by studying what all of them have in common, using some of them to fill in the gaps that are perhaps not present in others. And that's just from the great wisdom traditions. The world of modernity and post-modernity is not exactly populated with stupid people, just most of it. A profound understanding of human growth and development has been contributed by the modern West. And there are aspects of consciousness that modernity and post-modernity have spotted that you can find in no sutras, no tantras, no Kabbalah texts, no Sufist texts, and so on. So for the first time in history, we really have a chance of putting all of these things together, and not in a way to sort of put them all down, but in a way to mutually enrich them. And that's really extraordinary. So on the one hand, that's actually available to us now. And it's only the past 10, 20 years that this has happened. So on the one hand, we stand on the verge of a great adventure. And I think in terms of wherever men and women appreciate realization or enlightenment, or plumbing the depths of their own potential, or in any sense waking up to their own true nature, deeper realities, profounder meanings, and a greater social good. I think whether we end up doing this or somebody else ends up doing this, this era will be known as the first great attempt to integrate, synthesize, coordinate the entire heritage of human transformative techniques. So that's what I think that's absolutely extraordinary. I mean, it's goosebumpy if you think about it, but I think history will look back on the several decade period as the time when the first truly world religion, if you will, or world spirituality, if you will, or world philosophy started to come together. And that doesn't mean we're going to iron out differences. It's like if you have an international cuisine, international cooking, you have Mexican and Chinese and Italian, and they all remain what they are. The whole point about international cooking is not that you take Italian food and mush it with enchiladas and then spread it and sort of melt it all down into a gray, hominy grits. All of them can remain what they are. We're not trying to change necessarily any particular path. What we are doing is putting them together and saying which of these work best in these circumstances, what kinds of modules do we need to do, what are the most effective forms for different types of people and where they are. So it's a whole skillful means of putting together this extraordinary smorgasbord of ways that you can grow and develop and ultimately continue to realize deeper and deeper aspects of your own being.